What's going on, everybody? Anon here, and there's been a ton of chatter, a ton of people reaching out. Yes, we sold Edge of Eternities play booster boxes today for $99.99. So I want to start the video. It's very humbling to have the opportunity to do this, and we'll get into the reasons. But the TCG Player team, they've been great. They've been great for a long time, and I know they've had some difficulties here with the transition. Uh, So don't get mad at them. Give them a shot. I know everybody here should use TCG Player or uses TCG Player, but they're really good people. So that being said, why did we do it? And then we're going to go into a really fun Q&A because Reddit went nuts, which is cool. Look, first and foremost, it wasn't that many boxes. I know some of the sales in the past, there were a lot more with folks like the Banana Stand or whatever. I guess the value of the boxes has gotten too high. We did it because we had a bunch of boxes and we don't have to be pigs. We'll make a couple bucks on some sales. We'll lose a couple bucks on some sales, but it gives us an opportunity to help our partner, and maybe partner is the wrong term. We're officially a vendor, by getting eyes on the website. Two, it allows us to give back to folks. And look, we don't know who most of you folks are, but hopefully you join our Discord, become part of the family, etc. And then three, quite honestly, because we can. We had a good chunk of boxes. It does help our spend. It does help our allocation. And, quite honestly, we could have moved these boxes ourselves for a much higher price. But that didn't matter. Sometimes it's not all about the last dollar, and we'll get into this, but we have a pretty thin cost structure where we have all of our costs covered through other means. So want to keep this video a little lighthearted because the Timmy Army was in full force. So it's late, it's midnight. I just played a hockey game. I'm a little tired, but let's get into the Q&A because this is pretty cool. And so most likely a Pokemon rip and shipper who just buys Magic to get their total orders or their order total up, and then they don't even try to take profit on it. Just dump it as fast as possible to get money back in their hands as fast as possible to get more Pokemon. First of all, I'm not a rip and shipper. We have no rip and shippers. I won't even let my 4-year-old kid rip packs of Pokemon because there's, this for us it's a hobby, it's a business. We love the game. For Pokemon, obviously, I grew up playing Magic. But yeah, no, it's patently false. Now, does it get our total spend up with distribution? Of course it does. That's common sense. But spend with Magic does not translate to allocations with Pokemon in almost every distributor. So, that being said, let's go on to the next question. This is actually a lot of fun. Curious, seller is a non-TCG. I wonder if it's some kind of account created by TCG Player itself. We are not affiliated with anybody. We are our own company, our own tax ID. We are an entity who, we'll get into it later, but we have a brick and mortar. We decided a year ago to make a sizable online push. And quite honestly, it was because the total addressable market in our geography is limited. And we kind of capped it out. And the only way to grow and to continue to serve the community is really expand the community outside of our geographic area where people can drive to. So, the fact that we've got to where we've got to in a little under a year, I'm super proud of. I really am, especially in these market conditions. Now, granted, we started before everything went crazy. Our timing was super fortunate. And again, I'm thankful to all of our distributors, all of our partners, all of our customers. It's been great. So we are not affiliated with TCG Player. So either TCG Player itself has some partnership with WotC to sell boxes, or they do some sort of deal with X amount of big sellers to sell their box inventory at $99, eat the cost, so it becomes more market promotion to drive more visits to the site. And on TCG does have their own Shopify site. We do. So not sure if it would be an account for them. Though the site's quite bare bones, if you Google them, it does appear to have a Discord maybe. So our Shopify site is bare bones. The reason it's bare bones is we sell everything through Discord. So we make announcements as to when we're going to sell things, and we load the site when we do the sale. Now, we are going to be getting to the point here in the next couple weeks where we're going to have a live site. It'll be the same site, but there'll be live items on there right around market price that you can buy if you like. But the way we've done things to date is, for example, this weekend, we're going to sell Edge of Eternities collector boxes and Edge of Eternity commander decks. We'll announce the price, we'll announce the deal, and then we'll put it on the site. Now, the way we control who buys and when they buy is one of the super smart guys in Discord. Yeah, he's been extremely helpful, super nice guy. Created a coupon program with Shopify. So if you notice, everything is $1,000 more than what the normal price would be. So we have the ability to send a coupon to a specific subscriber in Discord. It is a subscription service, so it's a couple bucks a month. But we have the ability to send a coupon for a specific item on Shopify to a specific member for a specific dollar amount. In this case, it's $1,000 for everything. It just makes it easy for people to do the math. And there is a number of uses on the coupon. Most often, it's a unit of one. So we can control who buys, when they buy, and we can keep bots and things like that out. So that's the reason why the site is bare bones, because once the site's done, or once the sale's done, more often than not, we sell everything out and then we take it up, we take it down. Now, sometimes we'll leave some stuff out there for, a day or two. So if folks miss the sale, I mean, we have, 500 people in there. If folks miss the sale or they miss the announcement, because people aren't always paying attention, or, they turn notifications off. It gives them an opportunity to catch it. We're not a shell for somebody else. We just are who we are. Okay. And by the way, this is the third time, I think, maybe the fourth time. So we did the Surging Sparks for $179.99 sale in November, where we were called a lot of nasty things, even though everybody who got the boxes was great. And by the way, there's going to be somebody who complains here about the amount of time it takes to get the product. We're required to ship the product within 2 days of either the sale ending or release. So for this one, we're obviously going to ship the product in time for the release date, which is what we have to per Wizards of the Coast, and we are a WPN shop, so we have to abide by all those rules. We have no control over UPS, USPS, FedEx, any of the carriers. So you can bitch all you want about how long it takes you to get the product. Move closer. That's all I can tell you. So in November for Cyber Monday, we did the Surging Sparks, $179.99. That was 500 and some boxes. It was a great sale because it really springboarded us. It got us some publicity, some notoriety, but more importantly, it got the name out of there. And I mean, look, we liquidated product and made a ton of money. Then we did the Pokemon Day sale. The Pokemon Day sale was Stellar Crown. I believe it was $144.99 or $154.99. We did Paradox Rift. I think that was $144.99. And we did Paldea Evolved at $194.99. So there's a lot of folks who bought the sale, but they were bitching about the price. This is kind of our loss is your gain kind of thing, because we could sit on the product and we could maximize the amount of money that we have to make, but we don't have to. At the end of the day, and this is going to sound really stupid because it is a business. It is about building the community and helping people out. And you might say, well, selling boxes for $30 over MSRP isn't helping the community. Shut up. All right, moving on to the next one, because it's still 30% below market. Super weird. I may grab one. They have about 800 left in stock. By the time I got to TCGPlayer recheck stock, the listing was gone entirely. There was some wonky stuff going on for a little bit because I actually lost visibility of my side, where the inventory vanished completely and then it came back and then everything was out of sync and then it synced back up. So I'm not really sure what happened in there. But yeah, so seller has 0 boxes of anything else on TCGPlayer. Website looks slapped together at best. So address that one. We don't sell a whole lot of sealed product on TCGPlayer because we don't have to. Instances like this, they're a great opportunity. And again, we're super thankful to the team there. We are going to be selling singles. There's going to be a lot of them soon. We just got our Roka the other day. We're going to get the Fizz batch tomorrow. So we will be slinging singles as quickly as possible. Let's see, however they sell through part of the shop app. Yeah, just you said 800 to 0. I wonder if they priced it wrong or meant 880 in stock. No, the number sold that you guys see there is the right number. So blah, 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 shell. We already went through that one. There's only a few more here. So who is a non-TCG? Looked it up. The feedbacks, it's been up since 2022 on TCG, but that's true. Only 2K plus sales. Most of the sales. So there's probably 500 sales of singles where I was selling my personal collection for a while. A lot of Commander staples and stuff, just because I don't have any faith in Wizards not to reprint the shit out of these just to sell boxes. So as things go up, I sell them off. So 2K plus sales, which is extremely low. The bulk of these are from the TCGPlayer sealed sales. So, call it 500 boxes for one, 1,200 for another, and whatever thousand that you guys see on here for this one. Probably an insider deal with TCGPlayer, so you're safe, blah, blah, blah. We'll refund if any. So you guys don't understand. So if you buy from eBay and you get scammed, I've had very, very poor run-ins or experiences where I've gotten screwed so many times. I pre-ordered 2 different Prismatic Evolutions, Pokemon Center ETBs, that were never shipped within the 45-day window, and they sided with the seller, and it was clearly a scam. I refuse to use eBay. TCGPlayer is absolutely phenomenal. They protect the buyer, they protect the seller, and that is all costs that they're eating for the benefit of all of us. So yes, you're safe. It's brick and mortar, bought from them before. Also, TCGPlayer wouldn't push anything out unless there was an agreement in place. They aren't a brick and mortar. We are a brick and mortar. You can see it. We obviously went through the vetting process. That's why you had a little thing there. And he's a non, 100% true. Did this last time. Not interested in getting the box 2 weeks after release. I'll pass. Move closer, dude. You live on the West Coast. The USPS takes a while. Somebody bought one for 130 in the middle of 99. That was entertaining, but the site was lagging for a little bit. Let's see. And by the way, for the rest of you sellers, you're welcome. The price immediately went from 130 up to 138. Didn't expect that to happen. But look, again, perhaps it's the perception that since there have been such large sales in the past, that there aren't as many of these boxes available, which is factually correct because there aren't nearly as many available. Let's see. Yeah, this is the same thing. So they're a fake storefront. Got it. Okay. But if you think a store is selling 1,000 boxes without distro access, well, as I mentioned, we're not a fake store. That's okay. This is why I don't go on Reddit. Looks sus. Timey just looks suspicious. Also hesitant. Let's see. Yeah, Forge and Fire. It is. We're not affiliated with Forge and Fire either. Yeah, here's where it got a little funky. Let's see what the last one is. Another shitty YouTuber sharing their market insights and spiking FOMO. That is the first thing I agree with. I am absolutely a shitty YouTuber. Sharing my insights. Claims to know about distribution and behind the scenes. Maybe not. However, dude is dead on. You're going to be in the video night. So, okay, Donut 6817. Congratulations, dude. This is your cameo. God bless. Thank you, everybody, for a successful sale. We'll get your boxes out as soon as we are legally able to, and have a great night. By the way, like, subscribe, and join the Discord. It's free.